If you've ever fired up your grill full of confidence only to end up fighting hot spots, weak sear marks, and a greasy cleanup that ruins the whole afternoon, this video is for you. For many of us, grilling is supposed to be simple. Turn the burners on, enjoy the aroma, and serve food that actually tastes like it came off a real grill. But instead, we deal with uneven heat, parts that don't last, and equipment that feels tired after just a few seasons. That frustration is exactly why the Weber Genesis E-325 gets so much attention. This is a 3-burner liquid propane gas grill with an extra-large sear zone built for people who want convenience without giving up that classic backyard flavor. At around $949, this is not a budget grill, and Weber knows it. The promise here is consistent heat, serious searing power, easier cleanup, and long-term durability instead of gimmicks or overcomplicated tech. In this review, we're going to break down whether the Genesis E-325 really earns its price, where it shines, and where it might disappoint, based on real buyer feedback and real-world expectations. If you want to check the current price or see all the specs, the links are in the description and in the pinned comment. And before we dive in, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It really helps the channel and tells me you want more honest, no-nonsense kitchen and outdoor cooking reviews like this one. The first thing to understand about the Weber Genesis E-325 is that it was clearly designed for longevity, not trends. While many of us are drawn to smart grills with apps, screens, and automation, there's also a growing frustration with electronics failing outdoors. Weber leans the opposite way here. This grill focuses on solid materials, mechanical reliability, and heat consistency, the fundamentals that actually determine whether a grill survives years of use. The construction centers around stainless steel components and porcelain-enameled cast iron grates. That combination matters. Stainless steel resists corrosion from weather and grease, while cast iron excels at heat retention, which directly addresses one of the biggest complaints we all have: uneven cooking. Compared to conventional gas grills that rely on thinner metals, this one feels heavier, more rigid, and more confidence-inspiring once assembled. So, do you really need a grill like this? If you grill occasionally and prioritize compact storage or smart connectivity, it may feel like more grill than necessary. But if durability, consistent heat, and classic gas grill simplicity matter to you, the design makes sense. There are a couple of things to pay attention to before buying. The side tables do not fold down, which can be a limitation if space is tight. Assembly is also straightforward but time-consuming, and some buyers recommend planning a few uninterrupted hours or paying for assembly. Overall, this design isn't flashy, it's deliberate, and for many of us, that's exactly the point. Where the Weber Genesis 325 really separates itself is not flashy technology, but smart engineering focused on usability. At the core is the PureBlu burner system, designed to create a consistent flame across the entire cooking surface. In everyday use, this translates into fewer hot and cold spots compared to many conventional gas grills, which directly solves one of our biggest frustrations: uneven cooking that forces constant food rotation. The extra-large sear zone is another standout. When engaged, it concentrates heat where you need it most, making it easier to get that deep crust on steaks without overcooking the interior. Compared to standard 3-burner grills, this feature adds control rather than raw complexity. You decide when to sear hard and when to shift to indirect heat, which makes the grill feel intuitive even for longer cooks. In terms of versatility, this grill supports the Weber crafted system. With the pizza stone accessory, you can comfortably cook a pizza around 12 inches in diameter, which is ideal for family meals without overcrowding the surface. This flexibility appeals to many of us who want one grill that can handle burgers on Saturday and pizza or vegetables on Sunday without managing multiple fuel types. Against other grills on the market, especially pellet models with app connectivity, the Genesis E-325 stands out by staying simple. No Wi-Fi, no firmware updates, just reliable knobs and predictable heat. For users tired of mechanical or electronic failures, that's a usability win. There are still a few points to keep in mind. Some buyers mention the fuel gauge may not always be included or perfectly accurate, so visually checking the tank becomes important. The wheel locks also work, but they're not as firm as older Weber generations, which matters if your patio has a slope. A useful tip many people miss: preheating with the sear zone on for a few extra minutes helps saturate the cast iron grates with heat, dramatically improving consistency across the cook surface. That small habit can make this grill perform far above what most expect from a gas model. To get the most efficiency out of the Weber Genesis E-325, how you use it matters just as much as how it's built. This grill rewards simple, disciplined habits. Preheating is key. Giving it 10 to 15 minutes with the lid closed and briefly engaging the sear zone stabilizes internal temperatures and reduces the uneven cooking many of us hate dealing with. Once cooking, using indirect heat instead of blasting all burners at full power not only improves results, but also reduces grease buildup and flare-ups. Durability is one of this grill's strongest arguments. The stainless steel components are designed to resist corrosion, and the porcelain-enameled cast iron grates hold up well when properly maintained. A simple routine goes a long way. Brush the grates while they're still warm, empty the grease tray regularly, and avoid letting grease accumulate under the cookbox. These steps directly address the biggest consumer frustration: difficult cleaning that leads to faster degradation. To extend lifespan, a grill cover is not optional, especially if the grill lives outdoors year-round. Even high-quality materials suffer when constantly exposed to moisture and sun. Seasoning the cast iron grates lightly with oil after cleaning also helps prevent rust and keeps food from sticking. Weber, as a brand, has built its reputation on reliability and long-term support. Replacement parts are widely available, and while they aren't the cheapest on the market, they're accessible and consistent in quality. That matters when compared to lesser-known brands where parts availability becomes a guessing game after a few years. Customer support and warranty coverage are often cited as strong points, which reassures buyers who plan to keep the grill long-term. In short, this grill doesn't demand complicated maintenance. Treat it with basic care, and it's clearly designed to return the favor for many seasons of backyard cooking. In my opinion, the Weber Genesis E-325 does not make sense if you're expecting a highly automated grilling experience. If you want app connectivity, digital temperature control, or the hands-off convenience of pellet grills, this model will feel too manual for the price. It also demands a bit of commitment. Assembly takes time, it occupies a permanent footprint since the side tables don't fold, and some small details like average wheel locks or minor accessory quirks may stand out more once you realize you're close to the $1,000 mark. Replacement parts and add-ons are reliable, but they're not inexpensive, which is something buyers should factor into long-term ownership. Now, here's why, in my opinion, this grill is worth it. It delivers where it truly matters: heat consistency, searing performance, and durability. Real-world feedback consistently points to fast preheating, even temperatures across the cook surface, and a build that feels solid year after year. The sear zone isn't a gimmick. It genuinely helps achieve restaurant-style crust without fighting flare-ups or cold spots. Cleanup is straightforward, maintenance is predictable, and the materials are chosen for longevity rather than trend-driven features. If you value simplicity over screens, reliability over apps, and want a gas grill that just works every time you lift the lid, this is a strong investment. For many of us, that dependability is exactly what keeps backyard cooking enjoyable instead of frustrating.